Enhanced Palmar Pills are one of the best consumables in Crimson Desert. They restore a downed player to full health, spirit, and stamina, which is especially useful during difficult boss fights. This guide covers how to make Enhanced Palmar Pills without a known recipe, which will allow the recipe to be permanently learned, and the most convenient sources for all required materials. Let's cover that part first, as we will need to gather up the materials before we start cooking up Enhanced Palmar Pills. The first ingredient can be one of three items: a longhorn, ginseng, or bear's gallbladder. I found longhorns to be the most practical to farm. All we need is a fast travel spot that is near where antler-bearing deer spawn. I found a convenient one to be located a short distance southwest of Skolastown. The process is just to fast travel there, see if any deer with antlers can be seen, then hunt and skin them for the longhorns. Each deer with antlers gives between 2 and 4 longhorns. We then fast travel back to the same spot and repeat the process. Standing on the fast travel point when initiating fast travel removes the cinematic loading screen, so as long as your system can load the game quickly, there's basically no downtime. If we don't see any deer with antlers, we can immediately fast travel back to the same spot to spawn in some new deer, with a chance for one of them to have antlers. I recommend getting at least 20 longhorns before moving on from this step. The next two materials that we'll need, Palmar Leaves and Beetles, are a bit trickier to get, but there are some methods to make it much easier that we will cover. Both of these materials can be found in relative abundance near Pororin, which is southeast of Hernand Castle. If you've never been there before, you will be prevented from entering by the mystical shy. After several failed attempts of entering the village, you should get the Unreachable Village quest added to your journal under Faction Quests for Pororin Forest Guardians. Completing this quest and the one that follows will get you permission to enter the village. With that done, we can make our way to a small sanctuary near the northern edge of the village, where a palmar tree and several clusters of palmar leaves are found. The issue with collecting palmar leaves by hand is that, because they are delicate, hand-picking often fails. I found that I can only hand-pick around 2 to 4 palmar leaves per day, though that might be just due to me growing impatient. There are 2 ways to counter this, or at least I believe there are. The first is the magic scythe. We can get the magic scythe by completing research tasks at the Pororin Research Institute to unlock the dispatch mission, then send out a dispatch to craft the magic scythe from our camp. Using the magic scythe near the palmar leaves should then just automatically collect them. The second option, which I prefer, is to craft and use a cuckoo gardening pack. I plan on making a comprehensive guide for cuckoo pot crafting and the best cuckoo items to make, so be sure to check my channel for it. What makes the cuckoo gardening pack so good is that it will collect all nearby plants without failure upon activation. That means we can use it and just run around the palmar leaves to pick up around 40 or more within seconds. As for Palmar Beetles, these are a little easier to collect by hand. We just need to find them hidden amongst the palmar leaves and grab them. Unlike the palmar leaves, these guys are not delicate. However, we could also use cuckoo tech here. It's called the Cuckoo Insect Gatherer's Pack and will act in a similar manner to the gardening pack, but instead of plants, it collects bugs. We may accidentally pick up some dragonflies and other flies as collateral, but we can always discard those from our inventory after the fact. So while you may have to work a little harder in the early game to get these 2 essential ingredients, once you can get your hands on the 2 cuckoo packs I covered, these end up being the 2 easiest ingredients to gather for the enhanced Palmar Pills. The final ingredient we'll need is water. If you know a good spot for a water well, you can work it to get 5 waters at a time. Water is also sold daily by certain vendors, mainly taverns and grocers. With all ingredients gathered up, we'll need to make our way to a cauldron. I'm pretty sure every witch in the game has a cauldron nearby, but there's also a cauldron near the Hernand Castle that I'll show on screen. Cauldrons have a feature that allows us to improvise a concoction when we do not have a recipe to work from. Successful improvisations will contribute towards learning the recipe of whatever was created, in this case the enhanced Palmar Pill. So if you don't have the recipe, click the button to improvise, then add 1 longhorn, 1 Palmar leaf, 1 Palmar beetle, and 1 water, then make it. If done right, we should get 1 enhanced Palmar pill. We will then need to repeat this process another 3 times or so to permanently learn the enhanced Palmar pill recipe. Once we've done that, we can follow the recipe for the enhanced Palmar pill and craft multiple at once, which will speed up the crafting process. How Palmar pills work is, as long as they are in your inventory, you will be prompted to use one upon death. Doing so will restore you to full health, spirit, and stamina. This can be done as many times as necessary during boss fights, so having a bunch on hand is always recommended. If you have any questions on what was covered in this guide, you can reach out to me in the comments where I will do my best to help. If you want to see more great content, you can head over to my channel, and if you're new, consider subscribing. You're helping me feed my cat, her name's Marshmallow. Have a great day if you're here today, have a great Monday, and a great week. And as always, thanks for watching.